Hello, Kathy Rose here to talk to you about the new moon in Taurus, May 19th, 11:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Well, we get an amazing opportunity with this new moon in Taurus to learn about inner security. During this time frame when we have waves of change happening around us in the world, we get to learn how to connect with inner stability, which is really the specialty for Taurus. So let me explain. Let's look at the chart. Here we have the chart set for Washington, D.C. for the new moon in Taurus. Don't worry about the house placements if you don't live in the United States. But the thing to notice that is very, very clear here is that there are 5 planets in Taurus. And this is a very special message about inner security and stability. First, because the sun and the moon are at the very last, 28 degrees Taurus, almost the very last degree. And that is a special focusing degree around being able to look at the shadow side of the sign and the highest levels of the sign. And the shadow side of Taurus is rigidity. It is control issues. It is forming intense expectations and attachments and the resistance to change. That's the shadow side of Taurus. The higher levels of Taurus are about connecting with a pulse of energy, a rhythm of energy that is very stable and calm and enduring. So during this new moon in Taurus, you see that we have Jupiter in Taurus making a square to Pluto and a square to Mars. This time frame where Jupiter is in Taurus, it just recently entered and it's going to stay in that sign for a year, is going to expand and intensify and accelerate everything that Uranus in Taurus is trying to achieve. Uranus entered Taurus in 2018. It's going to stay there until 25 or 26. And we need to understand and remember, Taurus does not like to receive the Uranus frequency because Taurus says, I want stability. I want routine. I want the comfort of familiarity. And Uranus says, oh, no, 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 no. We're going to change everything. Let's have a breath of fresh air come in. Let's churn up your foundation. Let's plow the soil. And Taurus goes, nope, I like the soil being stable. So you see, this transit from Uranus through Taurus is moving energy that is stuck or stagnant. And we get to go, we get to move into a place of releasing resistance. Jupiter in Taurus is going to accelerate this. So what I'm saying is connect with your inner stability, connect with your inner security, do it by moving into that deep connection with the universe and observe all the changes that are going to be taking place around us for the next year, but do it knowing that you're safe. And you're going to need to remind yourself of this many, many times. Look at the image I chose to represent this lunation. It's a tree. This is a photo taken by a Facebook friend of mine named Sean Edwards, and I asked him for permission if I could share it, and he gave it to me. And I love this tree because there is a hollow spot. There is an opening to the core of the tree. So the tree, symbolizing Taurus energy, is grounded and rooted and stable and strong. It's enduring. But that opening is like going into your soul, going into your core to connect with that perfect divine connection you have with the universe. And that is so essential right now. The other thing about this lunation is that Mercury has just ended the retrograde and is now going in forward motion, getting ready to make the conjunction with Uranus and finish the sign. And so there is this release. Things are going to move forward very quickly. And then, of course, we have Jupiter squaring Pluto during this lunation, Pluto in Aquarius. And as many of us as astrologers have been saying for the past several years, one of the things about Pluto in Aquarius is that we all talked about the fact that AI is going to become very much part of our culture with Pluto and Aquarius. That's going to accelerate even more when Uranus enters Gemini in 25 and 26. But even in this next year, as AI has now entered the conversation, what we get in this next year is discussing how do we handle this wisely. There's going to be an exponential growth that takes place with AI becoming more and more infused in everything we do, and changes are going to take place. I mean, I can guarantee you for the next year, there's acceleration of massive change on all kinds of levels. Our job is to stay stable and calm and connected. Be a tree. Be a tree during this next year. In fact, let me share with you a photo that I think symbolizes something very important here. I chose this because it pulsates with life force. It pulsates with peacefulness. And we are going to all need to learn the skill to be able to step into peacefulness and that life force that flows on command. So I chose these beautiful flowers, these lotus blossoms that are opening, and they're pink, which, connects with Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, and all the green, beautiful leaves, which is Taurus itself. It's lush, it's fertile. And you want to breathe it in, right? You want to be able to find this spot in your consciousness on command in this next year. And it'll be okay. I mean, the changes I'm talking about are not going to be horrible. I think it's all going to benefit us when the soil gets plowed up and we have new life force coming in. The final thoughts for this new moon, and I say this every single video. I know it is a repeating message. It's so important right now to focus your thoughts in the direction that you want. In other words, plant positive seeds with your words and feelings. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And place your order with the universe. But this new moon in Taurus is saying, learn to do that without being tight. Stay flowing, release, let go, and be generally specific, but yet specifically general. So in other words, find some core beliefs that you want to have infused in your life, and as often as possible, bring them into everyday conversation. And here I'm going to share with you something that has happened in my life, something that my husband and I are going through, and that is in February, we put a contract on a new home. That's new construction. And when we did that, the builder said, your home will be finished by May 5th. And I looked at the ephemeris and saw May 5th was an eclipse. And it was also when Mercury is retrograde. So I really felt it's not going to be finished then. It's more likely to be done in the middle part of May after Mercury goes direct. But I had conversations with my husband about the fact that in the last phase of construction with Mercury retrograde, it would be likely that we would have some adventures of change happening during that last phase of construction. And it would be up to us to navigate that with calmness and with positivity. And indeed, it has happened. This Mercury retrograde that took place in Taurus, while our house was in the last stage of construction, there were many change orders. There were many surprises. There were many mistakes. And because I had looked at this and said, it's okay, what we determined was to plant positive seeds and say in everyday conversation as often as possible, everything always works out in our favor. And so that's something we would say while we were having coffee every morning. Everything always works out in our favor because we are in the flow. We're always in the right place at the right time. And whatever we need comes to us when we need it. And so then a change order would come in, or a mistake would happen, or a shift would take place, and we'd say, that's okay, because it's going to work out in our favor. We're in the flow. It's all good. And over and over and over, we program this. And consistently, since we put the contract on the house, I said, our house is blessed. Our house is filled with light. It's all going to work out beautifully. And indeed, it has. All those changes that took place during the Mercury retrograde have worked out in our favor. It's even better than what we originally thought. But we had to place those positive seeds and not go into reactionary need for control when there were speed bumps in the final phases of construction. We still have not closed on the house yet. It's coming up any day, and then we're going to move in soon. But what I'm talking about here is the fact that I found an opportunity to say out loud in everyday conversation what I wanted. And this is the opportunity for you to do that. Practice this as often as you can. My final thoughts. I just wanted to share this graphic. We created this a long time ago, which is, I am ready to receive generosity and blessings from the world. This is stating what you want, which is, it's what I want. I don't know if it's what you want, but it is the expectation that the world is a friendly place. The expectation that generosity and blessings are part of my reality. So you can change it to, I now receive generosity and blessings from the world. You can change those words however you'd like it, but it is creating a focused thought that is stating what you want, not what you don't want. And, this new moon in Taurus offers us so many opportunities to focus our thoughts and have real manifestation and get better and better and better in our technique, and to develop that concept of releasing control, not being so attached to something working out in our timing or with a specific way, but to hold on to the basics of what you want and let the universe flow through you. So the higher levels of new moon in Taurus is to become a more efficient conduit of universal life force, and to let that energy flow through you and to come into the physical world and manifest, which means you have to be an open channel, which means you need to be relaxed, like the photos I showed of those lotus blossoms. Be relaxed, let it flow through you, but yet focus your energy where you want it to go. So much opportunity. In this time frame of big change, we get to have stability within. So as always, I'm sending you many blessings and much love during this new moon in Taurus, and many, many happy thoughts. And I will see you at the June forecast. Bye for now.